So if you have that belief that you can actually build something and things are actually going to work out, it becomes very hard. We create a hard life ourselves. It's just changed how I hire, how I create boundaries, and how I want to build with ease and not fear.
Welcome to the Habit of Possibility podcast, the show about turning obstacles into opportunities. I'm your host, Robbie Spier Miller. Today, Munira Koreshi, business and technology strategist, is joining me. Together, we will share the mindset traps that keep entrepreneurs overwhelmed and stuck, and share the strategies that help entrepreneurs thrive in business and in life. Now, before we begin, we have a special announcement. We've been having many requests these days for help with managing stress and navigating all the change happening around us. So we are offering free 1-hour stress management workshops, both in person at our training facility in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, and online via Zoom. Check the link in the show description for more info and to register. Now, let's get started with the show. Hello, everybody. This is Robbie Spier Miller. I'm the host of the Habit of Possibility podcast, and today we're joined by Munira Koreshi, and she is a business owner leading multiple ventures to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses through technology. And we're going to explore today some themes about how business owners can put a frame around their choices so that they can have that sweet spot between doing the things that really matter for their business without getting overwhelmed. So welcome, Munira.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your backstory and how did you get interested in doing what you do now?
That's a very good question. So many people ask me that. But I think for me, it was never about launching a business. Actually, it was just really stepping into the role that I didn't see enough happening around me. I didn't see people were really bridging the gap between vision and execution, especially the founders, early stage founders who are building with the heart and ambition. I've always drawn into building systems and bringing clarity as my role as a product leader. And for deeper reasons, I really wanted to create space where others could really grow into their authentic version of leadership they want to without having to feel really overwhelmed. And that's what called it. And I just didn't want to just only do the work. I wanted to partner, guide, and co-create.
Great. So you act, is it kind of like a fractional role that you play where you're kind of part of their organization, but you're part of lots of different companies? Is that how it works?
Yes, you're really right. Yes, we have fractional teams, so I have quite few ventures. One of my venture is Prodigy Growth that really partner, and it's a subscription where the whole fractional team actually go and become part of your brand and really work with you for a couple of years so that you're standing on your own and then ready to hire your own team. So you can say yes, fractional teams,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So tell me more about this theme that you've been talking about knowing what to say yes to in your business and knowing what to say no to and the power of that.
I think it all really starts with alignment, right? So we have to be very intentional about what we say yes to and why. I've always asked myself in this work or a relationship, is this in a service for a bigger vision? And then just build a rhythm and a system around it. And I don't really choose balance. I really create a capacity. I want to lead differently. I lead differently in each venture of mine. I have different ventures, but I really I'm very very mindful where I create the time, because I have teams that I lead and they look up to, and I really look up to. I learn more from my teams than my teams do learn from me. So I'm really very mindful where I'm spending my time, which I say yes to and what I say no to. And I also completely believe in that no is a complete word.
Yeah, great. Yeah. In my experience with coaching and mentoring entrepreneurs in building their businesses, sometimes people get overwhelmed because there are just too many things that they believe they need to do. And if they don't have capacity to do them and they can't hand them off to somebody else properly, choosing to put it on the shelf can be a stressful thing for people, because instead of just deciding to put it on the shelf and being at peace with it, they worry that it's on the shelf and they worry that they're not doing it. And so, my experience, both with myself and the people I help with their businesses, is that it can be a very powerful thing to make a very clear decision about what you're committing to and what you're either giving away to other people or choosing to look at some other time, right? To circle back around to at some other time. So,
That's also where the strategy comes in, and where people get really sometimes get confused about what to build and what not to build.
mhm,
And I would say this is your vision. Like, you can be very stubborn on your vision, because I have seen the entrepreneurs, they're very good with their visionary. They're visionary. That's
mhm,
why they are in the role, and they're trying to build something. But strategies is how to get to your vision. You can be very stubborn on your vision, but be flexible with strategies how to get to that vision. Just something is on your list to do might not be really linking now with the with what you have, vision that you have created, and market keep changing. So, and especially these days, you have to be very, very mindful. And that's why sometimes when I'm working with founders, I create a 3-year strategy for their business, and really, really focus on the first year. Create the milestones, but not exactly what we need to do and how we need to do for 3 years. It's really about what is the next immediate step in order for, and how it's going to go very close to your vision, and then really deprioritize other things. And that's for very, really, really important. And that's why when a lot of founders that come in are also solo founders, I find it becomes very hard for them. They're one team and they don't know where to put efforts on. That's why I think bringing in the team and they take the load off, because I do completely believe I don't have to be everywhere.
mhm.
Because if your team gets your vision where you're trying to go, they're really your partner in that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So your approach is to see the possibilities of the founder and then help them so that they can bring it to life, so that they don't have to do it by themselves. They can have help so that they have capacity.
Yes, it's about really building capacity and consistency.
Hmm.
Because I don't think that there are a few things that we have to do where we don't. It's not done deal. You have to be very consistent and create a discipline as an entrepreneur, and that's why I just don't like to use the word balance. It's I don't think it exists anymore. I think it's all integration. I always joke that I left my 9 to 5 to do 24/7, because your mind's always there, right? Because you're a builder, you're a creator, and if you don't build the white space in your calendar, and if you don't have a white space in your week, what time are you giving yourself to be creative? As a founder, as a creator, you have to give that space. If you are the one doing every single thing, and then how are you going to give yourself space and step back? That is it still matching to the energy how I started this company for, why I started? Because I see people really overtired, burned out, and I know that I when I was working in corporate, I could actually really link to that feeling, because you are running on others' clock, not your
Yeah.
own clock. But you have an ability when you become a founder to create your and design your own life around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. And so when we look at this, as people are designing that, some of it we can choose, some of it we can't choose because it's the way the world is functioning. And so we're helping people to have clarity and to have, when you talk about consistency, the interesting thing to me about that is that a lot of people who are entrepreneurs love to be creative and have the freedom to go for it. And so often they tend to get bored quickly, like something that's a routine or follows a lot of rules. Often is not attractive to people who are entrepreneurs. So it's an interesting challenge to get them to agree to the routine. But the truth is that the routine is what frees people to be creative and to do the best to make their vision come to life. So have you
I
noticed?
will tell you why. Because decision fatigue is a big thing in a founder's life, in everyone's life, I would say. If
Yes.
you're not disciplined and you're not consistent, you're making decision every time for the same thing.
Mhm.
So let's say you have to go for a walk 30 minutes every day. Let's say 5:30 a.m. or 6 a.m. You're not, if you are disciplined, you're not making a decision. It's already done for you. So that's where I say consistency and discipline really helps, because then decision's done. There's no questioning about it. And if you
Yes.
keep changing, and there are a few things that you have to be consistent around your life. Like we never question when we wake up and brush our teeth. Why are we brushing our teeth? Because it created as a discipline and a consistency. Well, for me at least. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a hypnotic trance, Munira. So yes, we teach people that all the time. So we want to have certain things on our in our lives on autopilot, and then that frees us to be creative or have vision or do other new things or accomplish something significant. Because
Yeah.
that discipline makes you really, really good at what you do and makes you take it far enough that it is something substantial.
Yeah. 100%. It's a mindset shift,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes, it is.
It is
Yeah.
a mindset shift. It's a discipline. It's like it's really a practice.
Mhm.
It's not. It takes time to build that, but once you do it, I think it's just really transformational for you.
I agree. Yeah. So we help many people here who are entrepreneurs discover this because many people, just like you used to work at a company and you had a 9 to 5, as did I. When we're starting a business on our own, that whole thing is a mindset shift. And there are often areas of growth that people need. So there's, this example we have about consistency. There are other areas such as how do you connect with people in a useful way, or how do you interact with your personal life as an entrepreneur, or your health and well-being. So there are different areas, but when you get a paycheck and you're told what to do, it's a very different structure than when you're the one who decides. And people get overwhelmed by the decisions of being the one to decide. Often they don't want to make a mistake, and they feel like it's their fault if they do make a mistake. So there's a lot of uncertainty or insecurity around that, or
Yeah,
overwhelm. Yeah.
100%. I would also say that most of the time people also get stuck because they're also in the condition of self doubt.
Mhm.
It's just like I would say that creators have made us, but society has trained us. There's a lot of when you take initiative, which is a very courageous thing to do as an entrepreneur, to really separate yourself out, and you're trying to prove something. I would say that the most important thing that actually shift for me, that is my own work on my own self image. That was really really important for me, and always thinking about this is all working out for me was really really important. And most of the time we get stuck and overwhelmed because we are overthinking on our own decisions. It's like you have to really get into the practice of believing in yourself and continuously repeating that this is working out for me. And it should not overwhelm when you have created your own business. It has to have that passion component that keeps you up, and that when you wake up and you're thinking about it and you're really passionate about doing something. Passion only does not arrive, but it really helps.
Yeah. So being at peace with the trial and error involved with being an entrepreneur, because not everything's going to work out. Not everything's going to go the way you expect. There's learning along the way and ups and downs. And, many people shy away from that, or when one thing doesn't go their way, they give up or get complacent or retreat. And so being able to stay with it and seeing it, if you ask most entrepreneurs if they're being honest, they'll tell you that they had a lot of failures along the way to success. And sometimes they're big dramatic failures, and sometimes they're smaller, stepwise failures. But we want to be really embracing the trial and error aspect of learning. And I think that the people who get stuck are avoiding that. So, and I know that you help a lot of people with their online presence. Is that right, Manira?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is being confident about showing photos of themselves or videos of themselves, or uh, putting up a post on social media or writing a blog post, they get super hypercritical of it. And with the speed that life moves now, you need to be quick at getting that stuff done, and you need to be okay with just putting it out there. So we help a lot of people to grow through that and make peace with that. And whether it's to be confident on camera or confident speaking in front of a group, or being at ease with being willing to make it good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there are a lot of situations that come up like that. So
And
my
that's where your experimentation comes in. This is where saying no and yes also comes in. When it comes to posting online, there should be, in my belief, it's that's what experimentation comes in. The online world is very open. It's a learning playground for me. Definitely, it's a learning playground. It's not, it's just one part of what you're showing up. If we are always looking at into that it has to be perfect and due diligence, we're just gonna slow down and we won't let ourselves. And when it comes to failure, for me, again, it's the technology piece that I always talk about. It's just a data point, right? It's just a data point, and it's a sign of a progress. When things look very chaotic, everything is just, and it feels like failure. And sometimes, like Price Pritchett says that in his book, that it's just a sign of a progress. That means something's working.
yeah.
That's the point where sometimes entrepreneurs do a breaking point. That
Mhm.
is just for me. And I would say, just if you really believe in yourself, just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And use those as a learning opportunity and move on and keep building.
Yeah. What I found really helps with this, Munira, is that people need to believe in the mission that they're on and the vision they have, because that gets them out of themselves. They see the importance of the mission. And so if they don't love a picture of themselves, or, they look at a video after they posted and go, oh my God, I can't believe I posted that, or whatever, which happens. If they're focused on the mission, they're going to be so quickly on to the next thing that needs to happen that they won't even notice that. It'll be like a little fleck of dust floating through the air. But if the mission is about expressing who they are, then they tend to be more self conscious and critical. That's been my experience. I don't know what you've noticed around that.
Yes, I think again, I would go back to it really goes back to your self image.
Mhm.
I do really completely believe in it, because as an entrepreneur, you really have to work inside that. If you have a belief and you have started it and it's going to work, and you have to be very optimistic about what you're building, then these things do, on a bigger larger scheme of things, a picture or a video posted then do not matter. So whenever I'm posting something and I feel like, I'm like, okay, next one will be better. So, and that's where you do some experimentation. When it comes to your strategy and your vision, you're taking time, because it takes time to build a brand.
Mhm.
In order to build a brand, you have to do so many micro experiments. That is posting a picture, a blog post, talking on a video, but in the background, you are taking your time to build that brand. And during you're building that brand and you're taking that time, those experiments will happen. And I just don't like the word perfect. Like, there is nothing perfect in the world. It should not be even part of the dictionary, I believe, because things are changing so fast. And our memory, and we know that how much we remember now, like, it's just like a scrolling, right?
Mhm.
I think you have to really build authentic audience for yourself. It's not about number of followers anymore for me. I really, whoever is actually, for example, when I send newsletter, like, I always make sure that I don't have thousand and thousand. I want people who are following and who are being my partners, are may not be a very big number, but they're engaged. They're really being true partners, and we're learning from each other,
Yeah,
right?
it's almost like having a conversation with people and being really good at focusing on guiding the conversation in a useful direction. Because some people, when they're having a conversation, they're going to go, oh no, did I say the wrong thing? What do they think of me? And other people just know they want to create like a really great mood, or they want to just be with the people and connect and be in that energy. And so the people who are about agreement will tend to move things forward no matter what happens so far. And a great example I've seen of this was when I first started learning hypnosis and NLP, which is what I teach. So my very, very first teacher, I was taking a course up in Northern Ontario in cottage country. And so this woman lived up there, and we would take this course in the basement of her house. And so the first time we went there, we didn't know her. We'd never met her before. And this course was supposed to start at 9 a.m. on a Friday. And so we got there and we weren't sure, do we go to the front door? Do we go to the side door? Does it start at 9 a.m.? Does it start at 10 a.m.? Like the instructions were not very clear. And it's weird to knock on somebody's, a stranger's door at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? So but we did because we were like, maybe the course is starting at 9. So we did. And, she answers the door and tells us that it's starting at 10 and we should go around the side door, not go to the front door. But the cool thing was she didn't skip a beat because we were a little put off by the whole thing because we felt awkward about it. And she just was like very connected with us. It was no big deal. She just guided us to what needed to happen next. And we totally moved on from that. And I think it really stood out for me because before learning what I do now, I was definitely not that kind of person. I would get hung up on the things that didn't go well. And so the skill in general as an entrepreneur and for anybody to look at life in terms of where are we going next and focus there and be connected with the people while we get there, whether it's in person or it's online, is really a useful thing.
Yeah, and also it's again our thought patterns, right? Either we can look at things what didn't go well, or we think it what the next opportunity is and what's the right thing happening. Because in every situation, you will always find things that didn't go well, or you can always find only things that actually went well,
Yes.
right? So it's again um it's like it's just a habit that we have to build as an, especially as a founders. It's very, very important for us, and we have to be optimistic. You can just imagine how many people then we pitch and talk about and have a conversation about to have a business to business relationship. But it's all about conversation, and sometimes it's not the right time when we are having that conversation, but the right time comes later on. But if we
Mhm.
start thinking about how many did not work out, we would have never been able to do the business as we are doing right now, right?
Right.
So and for me also, even the sales and anything, it's all about a conversation, because it happens for people, not to people. You
Mhm.
have a business because it exists for a reason, because there is a need, there is a market need for it. So as much as you need the business, they also need this, and they also need you as much as you need them. And that's a mindset shift, right? That if you're not ready, and that's fine, and when you're ready. And so many times, like you will see, and everyone, when it comes to sales and marketing, we have to be just there is one awareness piece, but then when we are actually having the conversation, it's really about a conversation. And you'll see that every business will have their span of time. It takes me 3 to 6 months to have that relationship, and then people started to understand what we can actually do for them as a business. It depends, you're a product business or service, especially for service based businesses. I would say it takes time to build the relationship, and people really want to connect with you as a person. And whenever I am now shopping around, I always want to connect with the person who has actually built this brand, right?
Mhm.
And I would have that more attached to that product that I bought with the person I know, or the energy I know, than someone that I just don't know.
Yes.
So that's why building your brand is so, so important, because people care. People want to feel connected, right? And that's what I sometimes tell people, that how you want to come up front is you have to be the best advocate for yourself and for your business. Who else, if you're not able to? You have to
Mm.
be best advocate. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So I'd like to explore a little bit more with you what you mentioned about people either noticing everything that goes wrong or being super positive and only noticing what goes right, because neither of those are useful, right? The person who notices, who's really positive and notices what goes right, tends to get further because they're focused on what's next and they're positive in that energy and they're about creating things. So that does help. But the people who are only positive and aren't willing to look at the reality or learn from what happened, they're going to make the same mistakes over and over again and they won't improve. So we want that sweet spot of being able to like be about agreement and positive and still be safe and confident
Oh
while
yeah,
we
of
look
course.
at what needs to improve. And I think a lot of people go in one direction or another. It's really a skill to learn how to navigate that package.
You have to really follow your gut feeling, right? We are very good as human beings to override our gut feeling, right? We are very so we have that feeling. We know when there is something not right, right? So you have to be cautious and we have to be aware what's happening around you, but we
Mhm.
have to really really work on ourselves. That is it my own fear reflecting on it inside, or it's actually really really happening? A lot of time is that version. A lot of entrepreneurs I have seen, at least I'm seeing that a lot of shift happening from corporate to their own. So the version of themselves which was rooted in hustle and over functioning, and to move from that to clarity and trust and calm. So when it comes to whenever we have to make a quick decision, something has happened to us, and whether we think that it's positive or negative, regardless of what the result we got, if we are thinking about this is actually working for me, working out for me, whatever is happening, then it becomes very clear for us. It happens when, like, because I travel a lot, so things happen while you're traveling a lot. I'm like, okay, so every time if I think about, oh my gosh, because there are things that we just have no control on. So uh, think overthinking something that you have no control on, that only one means one thing, that once we have no control on, this is something happening for me, it was supposed to happen, because there's nothing driven from my action that it happened. We can always look at both sides of the puzzle, but I tend to say that just keep repeating to yourself, this is something is working out for me, and what I've learned from the experience. Because
Mhm.
one time, the first time when it happened and we feel like that we could have done better, the next time we have to see that what we learned from our previous experience. And that's what happens with the failures or things not working out, is the next time is not a mistake or a, yeah. So especially in the business side of things, I would say.
Yeah, right. So we don't want to have blinders on to the things
Yeah,
we need to learn, but we need to be like really see it as separate from ourselves, that it's just something to learn and we can do it better next time. And so that's really the
yeah,
growth
yeah,
that a lot of people
yeah.
can
Because
definitely have.
overthinking can create an internal chaos.
Mhm.
And when I talk about external chaos, it's a different thing. The internal chaos can actually kill the creativity. It does not give room or space for creativity,
Mhm.
right? And if you are all the time back to back in meetings, notifications coming, and you have no white space, how are you going to, like, you have no given your space, yourself no space for creativity. And
Mhm.
as a founder, you have to have that, regardless of you running one venture or multiple ventures,
Yeah.
right? You have to have that space so that you can be creative and be with yourself. And that is very very important. And go out there and meet people, because you have to be advocate. And I always say your network is your net worth.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So when people are in their heads and talking and analyzing or trying to understand things or going rushing from one thing to another because they think it's going to solve the problem or fix things once and for all, they're really in fear. And when we're in fear, subconsciously, our mind and our body believe we're in danger. And so our total priority is self protection. It's hard to
Mm,
have vision when you're trying to survive. And so when we relax and we take that, have that creative space, as you call it, it's a lot easier to have that vision and that clarity and tune into our intuition better and look to see, are the actions we're taking matching the vision of the direction we're going.
mm,
So there's a physiological and mind state that
mm.
match being able to have that perspective that helps
Yeah.
us.
And I would also say that after I started my entrepreneurship, I really started working on manifestation. Like, I really believe in that. You have to have that strong vision around it, and reflection is just not a luxury for me, it's just part of the work,
Yeah.
right? It's really deep rooted in my why, and not just the how, because how sometimes it's like we, as we go, we're going to figure out the how. But
Yes.
why, and when why is really rooted in us, and we are doing continuous reflection, it's really really important, and it keeps us grounded.
Yeah, yeah. So hypnotic trances are a level of obsession. So when we know what our why is, there's an obsession with the why, and then we'll find a way to do it because we know it matters.
Yeah.
And so there's some magic to that. So years ago, when I was first married, and I was also first learning everything that I teach with hypnosis and NLP, I took a course in NLP at the same yeah, up north at this woman's house that I was mentioning. And one of the exercises we did was to get clear about a vision of what we wanted. What did we want in a house, a car, a career, a relationship, whatever. And at the time, we weren't happy in the house we were in, and we were trying to find the house that we would be happy in. And at the time, it seemed impossible because real estate prices kept going up and we were looking everywhere. And so, but I knew what I wanted. And we did this exercise to really get clear about what were the things that really mattered about it. And so I did this exercise, and a year later, we had a class reunion. And that day happened to be the closing date for buying our house here in Burlington. And the woman who did this exercise with me said to me, "Hey, Robbie, did you get everything you wanted in a house?" And I completely forgot that I had even done that exercise, but I took out my binder and I looked at the sheet of paper, and I did. I got every single thing on that list. And how I did it was that I just had a routine in my life where each week I would take my son, who was a baby at the time, to a different neighborhood that I thought we'd be able to afford. And we would go for a walk and I'd look at real estate listings and right. And eventually, just from talking to people, we found where we wanted to live in our house. So it was a combination of having that obsession and just knowing it was going to happen. So I was
Mhm.
manifesting the house and also taking action where wherever I went, I was looking for possibilities or opportunities in that direction. And actually, what made me consider Burlington, which we had never thought of before, was I was living near Bloor West Village in Toronto at the time. And I went into a shoe store and started chatting with the owner. And he told me he had just moved to Burlington. So I said, "Oh, interesting. Tell me more." And so
Wow.
I actually started by going to see the neighborhood and the subdivision that he had bought a house in. That's not where we ended up buying our house, but that's what gave me the idea in the first place. And it's so random that that conversation happened. But if I hadn't been clear and obsessed about knowing this was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have had that conversation with him. And then I wouldn't have gotten that idea and we wouldn't have bought our house. Right. So there's so many subtle things that happen when you're clear and you know that you're going to do something. So I know
Yeah.
I've had a lot of examples of that, but there's power to being committed to creating something and just trusting it's going to happen.
That's that I would say this is what I learned in my journey to entrepreneurship. When I decided to leave my corporate career, I was a VP of product and strategy, one of the UK companies. And when I decided to switch and not go back to corporate, it just was some sort of like a belief in my side that side. And because I built my career so much in corporate, that people around me were actually more scared, and I would just look around. And then I had this feeling of the perception I had created, right? You could see, it's people's reactions are the feedback that you
Yes.
receive. But it had nothing to do with me. So I had to really train myself, even if it's on a very very positive note that is coming from the people, it's still someone else's vision of me
Hmm.
and my life, right? So if you have not have that belief that you can actually build something and things are actually going to work out, it becomes very hard. We create hard life ourselves. That's why designing your own life your way is so important, especially as an entrepreneur, because you have so much going on and you have to have that belief. And for me, most of it is about alignment. Actually, is this aligning with all that I want to build in my values, even the customers that come and join my community? I want to make sure they're aligned with the values that we have. And we have a lot of learning experiences during that time. And it's just changed how I hire, how I create boundaries, and how I want to build with ease and not with fear,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's great. And it's so good to have the life experience and the people experience to be able to confidently see that, right? Because a
Yeah,
lot of people, if you haven't had enough experience in it or been trained in it, and we teach people how to read people so that you can
yeah,
look for values alignment. Sometimes it can be a shot in the dark in terms of hiring people, or you
yeah,
miss the yellow flags or the red flags along the
mm,
way. So
yeah,
it's really wonderful to have that clarity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, when we are growing, there are a lot of growing pains, right? And this is how, again, the positive thinking, things working well or things not working well. Where do you want to focus on? Because you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. You can either think about what didn't work, or you can really think about this is working out for us, and it feels like expansion rather than pressure, right?
Yes.
So
That
lots of people,
you're on
yeah,
a path and it's going in a direction. And
yeah.
sometimes there are little detours or speed bumps, but you're on the path and you know you want to get to the destination. So
Yeah, and there are two ways to look at it. Either you look at this is too much pressure on me, or you can look at, oh, I'm expanding.
mhm.
And this is all part of expansion. You can see in around us, whenever anything is expanding, a town or anything that expanding has its, there is a lot of roots that you can look at that are being built around that. So yeah.
Yeah, yes. So learning how to plug up the energy leaks. So some people get overwhelmed because they're creating drama or stress when it doesn't need to be there. Right. And sometimes there's real life things happening, and to be able to roll with that. So it's an art to be able to interact with life
Oh,
that way.
trust me, I have been there.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
I remember when I created energy leaks for myself.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was reminded by it, it's an energy leak, just get over it. And
Yeah.
trust me, when we do the work, after that, sometimes it's very hard. You will keep thinking about it when it's happened. In few seconds, you just feel relief. And
Yeah.
you feel relief that this actually happened. But overthinking just create energy leaks for us in so many cases.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And if we have listeners who are struggling with this, hypnosis is a great tool to help you learn how to plug up those energy leaks and how to focus in a direction that's useful for your business and for your life, because it really helps you get out of your head and be more synced up with the world around you in a way that's useful.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, great. All right. So, Munira, where can people find out more about you and your services?
Yeah, so first of all, like I think LinkedIn is one platform that everything is just down there. Yes, definitely visiting my site prodigygrowth.com is actually a good way. Connecting with me on LinkedIn is actually a great way to know what are different ventures that we are doing. And I'm also on Instagram, so there are many multiple ways, but I would say LinkedIn would be one where you can see all in one place. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You can connect with Munira Koreshi at www.prodigygrowth.com. That's PRODIGI growth.com. Join us for our free 1-hour stress management workshops. Go to the link in the show description to register. And if you're interested in connecting with me and learning more about personal and business coaching, consulting, and training opportunities, go to mindlinkconsulting.com or hypnosistrainingcanada.com and schedule your free consultation. Let us know what you think of this show. Reach out to us at mindlinkconsulting.com. And if you like the show, please rate and review us so other people can find us too. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Robbie Spier Miller, the host of the Habit of Possibility podcast. Tune in next time to learn more about how you can turn obstacles into opportunities and make the most of your life and career.